The arrival. For thousands of years, humanity has lifted its eyes toward the heavens with a sense of certainty. The night sky was a familiar companion, vast, yes, but predictable. Stars rose and set with precision. Planets traced their eternal paths, steady and reliable. Comets appeared, vanished, and reappeared across centuries, their orbits mapped and foreseen long before they returned. Astronomy was born from this certainty. It gave us calendars, navigation, and a belief that the universe, no matter how vast, moved with order and law. But recently, that comfort was shattered. Something entered our skies that should not have been there. A visitor from the deep unknown, from the endless black ocean between the stars. Not a meteor. Not a comet. Not anything that fits into the neat boxes of science. A mysterious object, traveling faster than almost anything ever recorded, crossed the invisible threshold of our solar system. And with it, the illusion of cosmic stability collapsed. Its discovery sent shockwaves across the world. This was no ordinary rock tumbling blindly through space. This was something different. Something deliberate. The first to spot it was NASA's Atlas tracking system on July 1st Street. At first, it appeared as little more than a speck of light, moving against the familiar starry backdrop. It was catalogued, named 3 Atlas, the third confirmed body known to come from beyond the edges of our solar system. Astronomers thought they had found another interstellar wanderer, much like Oumuamua before it. But within hours, doubts began to grow. Because this object was not behaving like the others. It was moving at over 152,000 kilometers per hour, faster than most known comets. Its course didn't align with any natural orbit. It wasn't coming from the Oort cloud or the Kuiper belt, the frozen outer reaches of our system where such objects are born. It came from the deep interstellar dark, where nothing familiar exists. And the strangest detail of all, when it passed near Earth's orbital path, it timed its closest approach for the one moment when our planet was hidden behind the sun. It was almost as if the object wanted to avoid being seen directly. Almost as if it was hiding. Scientists began to argue, was this coincidence or intention? And then, the James Webb Space Telescope was directed toward it. Webb, humanity's most powerful eye on the cosmos. A machine so precise it can detect the faint glow of the earliest galaxies. Now it turned its gaze, not outward across billions of light years, but inward, toward something crossing our own solar system. The results shocked even the most skeptical observers. The light reflected from 3 Atlas suggested it was huge, a massive object gleaming against the dark. But detailed scans revealed something completely contradictory. It was actually much smaller. How could something so small shine so brightly? The answer was unsettling. Its surface was reflecting light far more efficiently than rock or ice ever could. Not dull, not dusty, not frozen. But polished. Like metal. Temperature readings added another layer of mystery. Instead of fluctuating randomly like natural objects, its surface temperature shifted with precision. As if it was adjusting, adapting, perhaps even using some kind of thermal shield. And its rotation? Perfectly smooth. Not the chaotic wobbling tumble of a comet, but the balanced spin of something engineered. What had seemed like a wandering rock now looked suspiciously like a crafted machine. But the most shocking moment came next. As Webb and ground-based observatories tracked it, the object began to change course. Not by accident. Not through gravitational pull. But through tiny, deliberate course corrections. Shifts so precise they could be measured down to the millimeter. And yet, there was no sign of propulsion. No gas jets. No debris. No exhaust. It was moving as though under control. As though it had a destination. At that moment, what had begun as just another entry in a telescope logbook transformed into something far stranger. Not a comet. Not a rock. But a mystery that challenged the revelation. As Webb continued its vigil, more anomalies surfaced. Thermal sensors picked up repeating heat signals, steady, patterned, mathematical. And one of those signals resembled prime numbers. To scientists searching for extraterrestrial intelligence, prime numbers are not random. They are deliberate. They are a message. It was as if the object not only knew it was being watched, but chose to respond. Panic, wonder, and disbelief spread across the scientific world. What had once looked like a comet now appeared engineered. And worse, it seemed capable of decision-making. Its outer shell was modular, panels shifting and rearranging with mechanical precision, adapting to surrounding conditions. Some theorists went further. They argued that it wasn't just a machine. It could be a fusion of artificial intelligence and biology, a self-sustaining, evolving construct. A probe that learns. A machine that adapts. A traveler that watches. Then the questions began. Who made it? Why now? Was it sent directly to our solar system, or had it always been here, silently circling, waiting for us to finally notice? The silence around it grew louder. No radio waves. No pings. No radar echoes. It absorbed or deflected every attempt to scan it. But it wasn't dormant. It manipulated the trajectories of nearby micrometeorites, not randomly, but with eerie precision. Its gravitational field seemed controlled, adjusted like a tool. It never crossed a planet's orbit directly. It glided along paths that avoided collision, as if obeying rules or protocols. Then came the most baffling discovery. The light reflecting off its surface was not random. It pulsed in rhythms. Patterns. When decoded, those light patterns formed geometric shapes, polygons, spirals, sequences aligning with the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, and even symbols carved into ancient petroglyphs on Earth. Coincidence? Or communication? What if it was speaking in the only truly universal language, mathematics? A code written not in sound, but in geometry. Not in words, but in proportion and symmetry. And then, suddenly, silence. NASA, usually eager to report on minor comets and asteroids, went dark. Press conferences cancelled. Data classified. Yet, in the shadows, fragments leaked. Blurry images surfaced in private forums, an elongated structure, smooth and deliberate, casting impossible shadows. In one raw frame, a hollow interior appeared. Not solid. But built. Built for something. Or someone. At this point, theories evolved into something more chilling. 3 Atlas was not just an object. Not just an abandoned relic. It was a message. A presence. A silent contact that arrived not to speak, but to observe. Its timing was too perfect. It appeared now, when our technology, through Webb, had finally given us eyes sharp enough to notice. Perhaps they've always passed through systems like ours. Perhaps they've always been here. Waiting. And maybe this was never about discovery. Maybe it was always about response. For decades, scientists dreamed of the first true interstellar visitor. Now that it's here, we're not sure we want the answers. Because Webb did not reveal a comet. It revealed a mirror, reflecting our limitations, our fears, and our readiness to confront something beyond us. What if this isn't discovery, but a test? What if all our science has been building toward this moment, like a silent countdown to first contact? Because after centuries of cosmic silence, the universe has finally whispered back. Not with words. Not with sound. But with silence that feels alive. And that silence carries a message. We saw you already, so now the question is not whether 3 Atlas came from another system. But whether it has been here before. Whether it will come again. Or whether it never left at all. What do you think? Is this the beginning of contact? Or simply the moment we finally realized we were never alone? Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with anyone who still thinks the stars are just stars. Because after